Albert Korir, once celebrated as one of Kenya's most dominant marathon runners, had built his career on grit, endurance, and international victories. From the iconic streets of New York to the challenging courses across Europe, his podium finishes made headlines and inspired a generation of runners. But behind the medals and trophies, a shadow had been quietly growing. The first hints weren't obvious. Routine anti-doping tests in late 2025 indicated anomalies, slightly elevated blood markers, unexplained fluctuations in performance metrics, minor but suspicious irregularities that would normally go unnoticed in the blur of competitive sport. Yet the Athletics Integrity Unit AIU, tasked with ensuring fairness in global athletics, noticed the pattern. Out of competition testing, a rigorous, unannounced protocol that monitored athletes beyond race day, revealed something far more serious. Traces of CERA, a potent blood-boosting substance. CERA, a modern form of erythropoietin, enhances red blood cell production, improving oxygen delivery and endurance, a game-changer in marathon racing. For Korir, a man whose every step in training and competition had been scrutinized by sponsors, fans, and officials alike, the news was explosive. The AIU's investigation quickly escalated. His performances from October 2025 onwards came under immediate review. Each race, every result, every podium placement was examined with meticulous scrutiny. The initial finding was not just a violation, it was a betrayal. Korir, an elite athlete representing the pride of Kenyan long-distance running, had allegedly used performance-enhancing drugs, undermining the very integrity of the sport he dominated. Sponsors and organizers reacted swiftly, and whispers began spreading through the marathon community. Questions once considered unthinkable now hung in the air. Were his previous victories earned legitimately? How deep did the doping go? Could trust ever be restored in the sport? By January 2026, the AIU had solid evidence. The anomaly patterns, test results, and corroborating analysis left little room for doubt. Albert Korir's career, until that point a symbol of endurance and discipline, had become the epicenter of one of the most shocking doping scandals in modern marathon history. The initial reports hit global media like a shockwave. Headlines labeled him a fallen champion, marathon star banned, and Kenya's pride tarnished. Social media exploded with debates, anger, and disappointment. Fans, sponsors, and fellow athletes struggled to reconcile the image of their hero with the reality of a 5-year ban, a sanction that would remove him from competition from 2026 to 2031. And in that moment, what seemed like a private breach of rules became a public scandal, shaking the foundations of long-distance running. The crime was not only the use of banned substances, it was the betrayal of trust, of fans' faith, and of the integrity of a sport that millions around the world follow with passion. The moment Albert Korir's doping violation became public, the effects were immediate and far-reaching. In Kenya, a nation that takes immense pride in its long-distance runners, the reaction was a mixture of shock, disbelief, and outrage. Korir was more than an athlete. He was a symbol of national excellence, a role model for aspiring runners from the Rift Valley to Nairobi. Parents, coaches, and young athletes looked up to him. And now that admiration was tainted. Conversations erupted in schools, running clubs, and online forums. How could a hero betray the very sport he represented? The scandal rippled internationally. Sponsors and partners who had invested millions in Korir's career began reassessing their contracts. Sports brands paused endorsements, wary of being associated with a tarnished image. Marathon organizers in New York, Boston, and Berlin faced immediate pressure from media and fans to respond, scrutinizing race results and prize allocations. The AIU's official statement, combined with the detailed evidence of CERA usage, left no room for ambiguity. One of the world's top marathoners had broken the rules, and global athletics had to act. Media outlets exploded with coverage. Headlines declared, "Marathon star Albert Korir banned for doping. Kenya loses a champion. Marathon integrity at stake. And 5-year suspension rocks long-distance running." Social media amplified the controversy. Videos of Korir crossing finish lines replayed alongside commentary and accusations, juxtaposing past glory with current disgrace. fans debated the legitimacy of his previous victories. Was the 2021 New York Marathon win truly earned, or was it overshadowed by hidden enhancements? Within the professional running community, reactions were equally intense. Fellow athletes expressed disappointment, some openly criticizing Korir for risking the reputation of Kenyan athletics. Coaches faced the difficult task of defending the integrity of their training programs while condemning the actions of one individual. Sports federations began internal audits, examining anti-doping protocols and questioning whether current systems were sufficient to prevent similar violations in the future. The ripple extended even further. Young athletes, who once dreamed of emulating Korir's success, now faced a sobering reality. Talent and dedication alone were no longer guarantees of success or public adoration. Ethical boundaries mattered more than ever. The scandal also sparked policy discussions at the global level. Athletic governing bodies began reviewing testing procedures, advocating for stricter out-of-competition monitoring, and reinforcing education programs to prevent doping. Korir's case became a cautionary tale, a lens through which the vulnerabilities of elite sport could be examined and corrected. The Athletics Integrity Unit, AIU, had been monitoring elite marathoners for years, but Albert Korir's case became one of their most high-profile investigations. What began as minor anomalies in routine blood tests quickly escalated into a full-scale probe into the champion's training and competition regimen. Out of competition, testing played a pivotal role. AIU officers visited Korir unexpectedly at his training camp in Eldoret, Kenya. Blood samples were drawn, meticulously logged, and analyzed in high-security laboratories. Subtle patterns emerged, repeated spikes in hemoglobin and red blood cell counts that aligned perfectly with peak performance periods. Each spike was consistent with CERA, a blood booster band for its ability to enhance oxygen delivery and endurance. For investigators, it wasn't enough to detect the substance. They had to demonstrate a pattern, a deliberate use rather than accidental contamination. Analysts cross-referenced Korir's performance data, training logs, and travel schedule with the timing of each positive test. Multiple positive samples across several months built an undeniable chain of evidence, leaving little room for doubt. The AIU also conducted interviews. Coaches, nutritionists, and team staff were questioned about Korir's regimen. Some denied knowledge, others hesitated, but the inconsistencies themselves became evidence. Investigators reconstructed how Korir could have accessed CERA, how doses might have been timed, and the potential impact on marathon results. Every detail mattered. The AIU was constructing a comprehensive, airtight case. Legal and anti-doping teams worked in tandem. Detailed reports were compiled, citing every test, every lab result, and every deviation from expected physiological norms. Korir was notified of the charges, and an initial 6-year sanction was proposed. Upon admission and cooperation, this was later reduced to a 5-year ban, effective January 2026. The AIU also examined Korir's race history. His performances from October 2025 onward were disqualified, affecting podium placements and prize money. Yet his 2021 New York Marathon title remained intact. Historical results before the violation window were not overturned. International scrutiny followed. Media outlets, marathon organizers, and sponsors awaited every update. Korir's admission not only confirmed suspicions, but also exposed systemic vulnerabilities in elite endurance athletics. The difficulty of detecting modern blood boosters, the reliance on self-reporting, and the necessity of robust, out-of-competition testing protocols. January 2026 marked the official turning point in Albert Korir's career. The Athletics Integrity Unit announced the sanction, a 5-year ban from all competitive running, effective immediately. Korir, once celebrated on marathon podiums around the world, would now be absent from the races that had defined his life. The news hit like a shockwave across the athletics community. In Kenya, news outlets ran front-page stories, dissecting every stage of the investigation and analyzing the implications. Fans took to social media with mixed reactions: disappointment, disbelief, anger. Memes circulated juxtaposing Korir's past victories with images of test results and laboratory vials, amplifying the emotional and psychological impact. For sponsors and race organizers, the consequences were tangible. Multi-million-dollar endorsements were paused or terminated. The New York City Marathon, where Korir had secured a podium finish in 2025, had to reallocate prize money, issue official statements, and manage the reputational fallout. Other international races reviewed records, ensuring that all affected results were corrected. Korir's disqualification sent a message. No one, no matter how decorated, is above the rules. Within the professional running community, the ban sparked heated debates. Fellow athletes expressed solidarity for the integrity of the sport, but also frustration at the shadow this scandal cast over their own achievements. Coaches, training staff, and athletics federations faced renewed scrutiny as the public questioned how such elite athletes could bypass oversight for so long. On a personal level, Korir confronted a harsh reality. His identity, so deeply tied to running, was now overshadowed by scandal. Interviews hinted at regret and acknowledgement of wrongdoing, but the damage to his reputation was irreversible. For the public, Korir became a symbol of both talent and temptation, the duality of human ambition colliding with the uncompromising standards of elite sport. Internationally, this moment also reinforced the credibility of anti-doping authorities. The AIU's thorough investigation, combined with transparent reporting and decisive sanctioning, demonstrated that enforcement is effective, even against elite champions. The scandal forced stakeholders, from governing bodies to grassroots clubs, to re-evaluate their monitoring and compliance strategies. The consequences extended beyond the athlete. Young runners now faced a sobering lesson. Success is fragile without integrity. Fans were reminded that heroism is earned, not assumed. And the global marathon community learned that vigilance, transparency, and accountability are not optional. They are essential. The saga of Albert Korir did not end with a press release or the striking of a gavel. While the 5-year ban removed him from competitive running, it opened a broader conversation about the fragility of athletic glory, the human temptation to seek shortcuts, and the immense responsibility that comes with elite status. For Korir, the consequences were both professional and personal. The ban meant lost income, endorsements terminated, and a gap in a career that could never be fully recovered. Beyond the material, his reputation, the symbol of national pride he once embodied, was irrevocably tarnished. Even supporters who once cheered for every stride now regarded him with a mixture of disappointment and empathy. In interviews, Korir admitted his errors, but the weight of his decisions lingered. Every medal, every podium finish, every fan memory was now viewed through the prism of scandal. The marathon world, however, gained something essential: clarity. Anti-doping authorities demonstrated that even the highest profile athletes are accountable. The Athletics Integrity Unit's meticulous investigation set a precedent for future cases. Federations, sponsors, and coaches reviewed internal policies, and young athletes were reminded that integrity is inseparable from performance. Korir's case became a cautionary tale, a stark lesson that fame and success are fragile when ethical lines are crossed. Fans and journalists debated the what-ifs. Could Korir have achieved his legendary performances without doping? How many other athletes remain undetected? These questions echoed in stadiums, sports bars, and online communities worldwide, a chilling reminder that human ambition often walks hand in hand with risk. The ripple effects of this scandal, though concentrated in time, would influence policy, testing protocols, and athlete behavior for years to come. The story also underscores the duality of sport, the elation of victory, and the shadow of compromise. The audience is left not only with the fact of the case, but with an emotional resonance, the thrill of seeing champions succeed, and the sobering reality of ethical failure. In a world where endurance, discipline, and heroism are celebrated, one man's misstep became a global warning.